AITA because I, 38F, don't want to take my stepson, 9, on vacation. I am not the op. Original post is by you, Taforno Weg in R, am I the asshole? Mood spoiler. Evil stepmother vibes. But a positive update. Less than. // Original July 21, 2023. AITA because I, 38F, don't want to take my stepson, 9, on vacation. My husband, 39, and I have been married for 5 years. We have 2 children of our own, both girls, aged 5 and 2. I also have a son, 10, from a previous marriage, but I was widowed. My husband's ex is barely involved in stepson's life at all. They got divorced when stepson was 2, and his ex wanted a fresh start, so my husband did the decent selfless thing and had complete custody of their son, even though he'd wanted shared custody. I got a bonus at work and I really want to go on vacation with just my family just once. We've been on family vacations all together lots of times. But just once I want to spend my money going on vacation where I'm not looking after someone else's kid. I want stepson to stay with his mom while we go on vacation. My husband sees my point of view and is okay with it. I don't think I'm being at all unreasonable. My mom found out what I was planning and says I'm being a complete aw. These are the reasons she says I could be the aw. 1. My mom says that if stepson's mom isn't properly involved in his life, I should be even more involved in his life to compensate. I think this is a completely unfair expectation. 2. She also says that I'm being a hypocrite taking my son. But I think that's totally different because my son doesn't have another parent. I'm all he's got. If stepson's mom won't take him just for once, then obviously he'll come on vacation with us. But I don't think I'm the odd to ask if I can have a vacation with my own family just one time. It's not like I hate stepson or something. He's a nice kid. He's just not mine. Am I the aw? / Relevant comment. Info. If my math is right, you and your husband got married when stepson was 4? What kind of relationship does stepson have with you versus with his bio mom? OOP's response. Yes. He was 4. And as I said, he barely sees his bio mom. I'm not sure what point you're making. Editor's note. Oof. OOP is heavily criticized and voted YTA. / Update July 22, 2023. Assumed. She tried to post a separate update which was removed. So she added it to the original post instead. Update. AITA because I, 38F, don't want to take my stepson, 9, on vacation? We definitely won't be going on vacation without stepson. After a couple hours of replies, I decided to show this to my husband. We sat down and had a really long talk about it. He told me he's never been comfortable with my attitude to stepson, but didn't know how to say to me before, I don't want to be a bad person. I just never thought of stepchildren being yours. I don't think it would be easy for anyone to accept this level of criticism. But all your replies have shown me I have a lot of work to do, as many of you suggested. And so did my husband. I intend to see a therapist to help me with that. As I said, I don't hate stepson in any way. I have never been deliberately cruel to him. I've just always thought of him as my husband's child. But I realize my mindset needs to change. So I'm going to start working on that. I want my family to be the best it can be. And I need to accept that it includes my stepson. I understand that now. And I'm going to start seeing a therapist to become a better person. We've also talked about maybe having family therapy too. I've also made up with my mom. And she is 100% behind the changes I want to make in my life. It wasn't easy to hear everything you said, but I understand that I needed to hear it. / Note: marked as concluded since the primary issue has seemingly been resolved, and OOP didn't indicate that they plan to update again. Wishing her stepson the best. Reminder: I am not the original poster. Don't forget that commenting on the original posts is not allowed. Glad she didn't double down on stupid. I find it so bizarre that it apparently never occurred to her that this child might see her as a mother figure when his bio mom is essentially out of the picture. Just how did she miss that? Hope they all find a way to heal together. I honestly dislike OOP's husband more. He disliked her attitude towards his own kid but dated and married her anyway. Never voiced his thoughts until she decided to do it herself. I'm glad she's going to therapy. But damn, what if she hadn't taken up the change for herself? How long was her husband going to keep his mouth shut for his own comfort? The husband was trash. Not standing up for his kid all these years. I don't see what point you're making. The point is that you, Petunia Dursley, are the only mother the kid knows. I read the first half of this and had mentally gone all in on divorce. I'm pleasantly surprised to find myself mentally bankrupt. The idea that you can't relate to a child and see them as your own because you aren't related by blood baffles me. Truly baffles me. Like, why is it so important a child is related to you if you care for them and are involved in their lives? I don't know what to say. When you accept to marry someone with kids, you typically, or should, decide to care for their kids. Become sort of another parent. And then you're in the kid's life for most of their life. Their other parent doesn't see them. And you don't consider yourself the parent? I am flabbergasted. The mental gymnastics this woman goes through to justify her abhorrent behavior is challenging my mental gymnastic abilities. Does she ever realize her husband has a stepson, aka her son from her first marriage? I bet she would throw a fit if he ever treated her son as less than. The poor kid will definitely need therapy as well. Oof indeed. Father of the year right here. Glad his wife getting roasted by randoms gave him the courage to say he has never felt comfortable with how she treats his son. Maybe I'm just cynical, but I doubt she's gonna change at all if she had this warped and sadistic of a perspective. I read the first post on AITA and was pissed. I'm glad she may be wising up. So she wants her husband to care about her son, but doesn't want to care about his son, when they are basically the same age. Come on, lady. My money. I hate people like this. All they know is to yell, my money. My money that. My money that. Probably even the husband has a hard time talking with her about finances. So the husband was a horrible father for 5 years, letting OOP treat his son like trash. He married this woman, had more kids, and a coward that did not want to tell her to stop being cruel to his son. WTF? So in order for her to accept her stepson, the kid's mom would have to be dead? WTF. Therapy sounds like the correct and only option at this point for sure. Why am I willing to bet she fully saw her husband as her bio son's father, but couldn't apply that to herself? I hope her newfound introspection sticks. That poor kid. How can the dad be so glib and just give in to OOP? He supposedly has always had an issue with how OOP views his son, but in the 5 years she's been in his life he never had a candid discussion with his wife to say, hey, I love and accept your son as my own. If you can't do the same, then I don't want you in either of our lives. I do hope OOP gets help, and I sincerely hope that poor kid never realizes how his stepmom actually viewed him. I don't want to be a bad mom, but I seldom look into a mirror of how lovely a mother I already am. My mom found out what I was planning and says I'm being a complete aw. Gosh. Not all heroes wear capes. Good on step-grandma for sticking up for the poor kid we're the only stable parents in his life. Weren't doing anywhere near enough. JFC. She has been part of this kid's life since he was so young he likely doesn't remember a time without her. And she still thinks of him as my husband's son. Does she think her husband thinks of her son as my wife's son?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.